Far Cry games are never quiet affairs, and Far Cry 6 is no exception. We recently got to go hands-on with the game for over 5 hours and quickly discovered how wild things can get. From rocket launcher backpacks to murderous roosters, the hands-on demo was full of outlandish new features, characters, and missions. To give you an idea of how fun things can get, here are the 6 wildest things we found in our Far Cry 6 hands-on demo. One of the most memorable missions in Far Cry 3 is Kick the Hornet's Nest. It's the one where you torch fields of marijuana crops with a flamethrower, all while Skrillex's Make It Bundum plays on a loop. Far Cry 6 brings all of those memories back with its Fire and Fury mission, in which you must head out to one of Anton Castillo's red tobacco farms and set it ablaze. As the first leaves catch light, a Latin American groove begins to play over the action. Turning this act of vandalism into a particularly destructive salsa. And as you do this, Castillo's troops flood into the area, forcing you to duck, weave, and shoot your way through the burning fields. The need to also detonate 4 large yellow poison tanks only adds to the chaos. It makes Far Cry 3's original mission look comparatively relaxed, a blazing good time compared to the intense firestorm that is the Far Cry 6 remake. Talking of throwbacks to previous games in the series, the island of Yaran is also home to the Valle Prehistorico, a museum full of Far Cry Primal references. Among its exhibits are huge mammoth statues, groups of Paleolithic tribesmen, and saber-toothed tigers. If you played the prehistoric oddity, then you'll find all of this pretty recognisable. Less recognisable are the mortars, boxes of depleted uranium, and helicopters. It seems that Yara's dictator is less interested in teaching history and more focused on turning every location into a militarised hellscape. Many of the outposts in Far Cry 6 are repurposed civilian sites, and this museum has been transformed into a helicopter base for Castillo. Perhaps seizing it will allow it to be opened up to the public again. Among Far Cry 6's many side quest offerings are treasure hunts. Each offers a unique looting experience, including chasing pelicans in a wingsuit. But the most memorable of those offered up in the hands-on demo was the Emerald Skull. As the title hints, this is an Indiana Jones-style mini-adventure, and it takes you into a cave network filled with ancient sculptures. These statues hide a mystery that only the Emerald Skull can unlock. The puzzle itself is pretty simple, but it offers a welcome break from the classic Far Cry gameplay loop. There are just a few crocodiles to fight inside, with the rest of the quest relying on your climbing, observation, and trap avoidance skills. The reward for making it through the ancient cavern is a little underwhelming to say the least, but it is the experience that counts. Once again, Far Cry will allow you to head into battle with an animal companion by your side. But if you thought the dogs and bears of Far Cry 5 were outlandish, you've seen nothing yet. The hands-on demo introduced us to Chicharon, a rooster who just can't get enough of murdering Castillo's staff. He's recruited through a series of quests that involve killing a whole pack of attack dogs and trashing all the paperwork in a government office. It's quite bizarre to say the least. Chicharon was one of 3 animal amigos available in the demo. He was joined by Guapo the crocodile and Chorizo the dog. In Far Cry 6, animals are categorized by their abilities. Chicharon and Guapo are both combat creatures, and so can be dispatched to attack foes. Chorizo, meanwhile, is ideal for stealthier players. He can roll up to enemies and distract them with his adorable eyes, while you sneak up behind with your blade at the ready. While Far Cry 6's island is well stocked with regular weapons, there's also the opportunity to build new guns out of junk. The demo allowed us to go hands-on with a small handful, and each was weirder than the last. The Tostador is a DIY flamethrower, and does exactly as its name suggests. Effective against fields of crops, but a little less effective against human opponents. For something more to the point, you can wield the El Susuro, a nail gun that's been adapted into what is effectively a silenced pistol. If those are a little too standard for your liking, there's the La Clavadora. Imagine a crossbow, but then think bigger. This gun can skewer enemies with its humongous harpoons, but the reload time is just as painful as the damage it inflicts. For something a little better up close, you can transform yourself into a Rainbow Six Siege shield operator with the El Muro. It's a pistol and shield combo, but the pistol shoots shotgun shells, for when 50 cal point blank just isn't enough. And should all of those seem a bit too pedestrian, well, there's the Zuzito. Powered by a huge battery, this beast will turn your enemies into a ketchup volcano in an instant. Far Cry 6 has borrowed several features from other games, including Assassin's Creed Brotherhood's contract missions and The Division's base building. Strangely enough, it also features ultimate abilities called Supremos, which are like a ramshackle alternative to Destiny and Overwatch's ultimates. These super skills come in the form of backpacks loaded to the brim with useful items. The first you'll get is the Exterminador Rocket Barrage, which, well, very much does what it says on the tin. The demo also offered up the Volta, which causes a non-lethal EMP shockwave that knocks enemies over and disrupts electronics, and the Furioso, which sets pretty much everything around you on fire. There's also the Medico, a co-op focused Supremo that allows you to self-revive and rapidly heal from your wounds. Like ultimate abilities in other games, the Supremo must recharge after each use. The cooldown is very long, but, as in Overwatch, can be sped up by killing enemies. Quite how gunning down troopers helps recharge a rocket launcher isn't explained, so we'll just assume that Yaran Engineering has managed to turn blood into some kind of coolant. And those are the 6 wildest things we found while exploring Yara in the Far Cry 6 hands-on demo. For more, check out the Far Cry 6 preview and catch up with the game's latest trailer. And for everything else, stick with IGN.